Hey everyone, this is Chris from Know Your Why Recovery. Welcome back to our series on anger. This is the fourth and final part, and we're going to be looking at communication styles, particularly assertive communication. Now, assertive communication is an effective means of communicating thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. It often can assist in conflict prevention and resolution. Many times when we're faced with an anger-provoking situation or event, the communication style can make all the difference in not only the possible outcome, but how we understand and process the situation. If we focus on the communication in the moment, it helps us get out of our emotions and into a calmer mindset. Now, our responses and our communication are learned. So if we tend to respond in maladaptive ways or we communicate suboptimally, with a little bit of determination and practice, we can actually change that, which is the cool thing. There's a few main styles of communication. You may or may not have heard of them: passive aggressive, and assertive. It's very easy for a lot of people to fall into the trap of responding with aggressive communication, especially when they feel wronged or treated unfairly, which is common in many anger situations. Aggressive communication tends to put our beliefs, our feelings, our thoughts above someone else's while disregarding them. It's also equally as easy to feel intimidated in a situation and not communicate effectively or really communicate at all, which is what happens in passive communication. It leaves us feeling like our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are disregarded. Passive aggressive communication is actually a form of hostility and in many ways a rebellion against the person, a situation, or demand. It's frequently a response when a demand is placed on someone that they believe is unfair or unjust. And finally, we have assertive communication. And this is ultimately the goal in many situations, the goal communication we want to use. Assertive communication communicates your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and needs in a respectful way that doesn't leave the other person feeling disregarded or attacked, since their thoughts, feelings, and beliefs were treated equally. You often feel more positively about the situation because you expressed what you needed to express without causing grief in the other person or feeling left out or walked over yourself. So let's look at an example in the different types of communications. You're busy at work, you're already struggling to keep up with assignments, you feel like you're drowning. Your boss comes in, drops off a stack of papers and says, "I need this completed by the end of the day," and just starts to walk out. Now, in the various communication styles, your response may look differently. So aggressive, you may shove the papers right back at the boss and say, "Find somebody else to dump this on. Better yet, do it yourself." You can imagine what that type of response may cause from your boss. You may even be packing a box to get out of there by the end of the day. Right? Passive communication, you may agree to the task and you spend the rest of the shift ignoring all of your other work just so you can do this task. In the end, you feel stressed, you're now late with your other work, and you're upset with yourself that you didn't say anything or even say and ask for help. Passive-aggressive communication, you may say nothing or even agree to the task knowing full well you're not even going to try to complete it. At the end of the day, your boss asks for the work, you claim you forgot about it or you're just unable to get to it. While this may work once or twice, if it's a patterned response, it's going to reflect negatively on your performance and your boss's perception of you. Now, assertive communication is the goal in this situation. In this case, as your boss walks out, you explain that you're willing to attempt to maybe complete the assignment and prioritize it if necessary, but you already have another number of assignments and you ask for assistance in completing this, or for other deadlines maybe for the assignments. In many situations, assertive communication is going to leave you feeling better about the interaction, and you may gain a more positive response from the other person involved. You feel heard and you feel respected. You stood up for yourself in a respectable manner, and the other person also feels respected and their needs were considered. Now, this is not some magical type of communication. Sometimes you communicate perfectly assertively. It's respectful, it's calm, but you're still met with aggression, or the situation doesn't play out the way you hoped. Overall, communicating assertively yields the most consistent, positive outcomes over time. Now, how can you do this if you're unsure of if you're doing it correctly? Try to stay respectful and calm. The other thing to do is structure your words into what they call I statements. I statements are a framework for your words that will often assist you in making your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs communicated clearly and assertively. They cut down on defensiveness. They help you keep focus on you rather than the other person, while simultaneously allowing you to address what you need from the other person, if anything. Now, good structure for this is I feel blank when blank. You can even add in I need blank if appropriate. So look at the example above. So you say to your boss, I feel overwhelmed right now when you ask me to do this assignment. I already have a number of assignments I'm completing. I need some assistance in completing this for you, or understand that some of my normal work might not be done by the end of days if I prioritize this. Now, while I statements work well in assertive communication and conflict resolution, they're not meant for all situations, such as a casual interaction. So use your discretion in trying to use I statements. Just some final thoughts. For yourself, you have to really identify specifically what the issue is, how you're feeling, and what the impact of the situation is. You have to decide if the conflict is one that you actually have to resolve. Not all conflicts really deserve resolution or specific attention. But if so, then work towards resolution, and assertive communication is a good way to start that. Thanks for joining us in our series. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember to check out the rest of our channel, like our content, share it, subscribe so you get all the new ones. And until next time, take care of yourself and others.